Hello guys, so this video is going to be my favorite Juniper fragrances. Firstly, you need to know about Juniper. There is usually three different types of ways the Juniper is used in a fragrance. One being the Juniper berries, two being the Juniper wood, and three being gin, because gin is made from Juniper berries. It's an alcohol, and when you make gin, it gives off more of a gin and tonic kind of vibe. You get this like freshness from the alcohol. It's a bit more cooling and refreshing when you make gin. So you could use juniper berry or juniper in a couple of different ways. It's usually paired with like vetiver or cypress or pine. These days in a lot of blue fragrances, they use it with a lot of citrus, with a lot of lavender. I think it goes pretty good with mint. And lime and stuff like that too. So you have like a couple of different styles of juniper fragrances as well. So you have like your typical gin and tonic style juniper fragrance, but then you also have more of like a vetiver style classic DNA, where you have like your Guerlain vetiver that doesn't have juniper in it. I'm just giving you examples of some vetiver. So you have like your Guerlains, your Creeds, your Roges, your Tom Ford. So like that's kind of what it reminds me of when you have that vetiver base, and then you build upon that vetiver base with like that juniper just to make it a little bit more modern and fresh. Some lavender in there, so juniper, lavender with that vetiver kind of base as well, and it works really good. But yeah, here is my list of top juniper fragrances. But one more thing I want to say is the smell of juniper. It's a little bit like a cross between like cypress and pine, but a little less terpenic. It's a little bit more pleasant to smell in a fragrance than something like pine, which is a little bit more like a Christmas tree kind of smell. So I feel like juniper is really good, especially the juniper berries. It just goes really good. It adds like this aromatic vibe to a fragrance, a little bit aromatic, woody, and like a sexiness to it, like a masculine vibe, because a lot of the times men want to have wood. They want wood, but they don't want oud, or they don't want anything that's too overpowering, and I feel like juniper is like a really good wood to use. So let's get into this list, and I've taken some notes down from like Fragrantica and stuff, so I can kind of like give you a brief of what's in these fragrances. So first one, I've got to include this in the list. This is YSL Y Intense. I'm putting the Intense in the list because I feel like that is where the juniper is the most intensified out of all the flankers. The Intense, they made the juniper the focus of the Intense, so that's the reason why I'm putting that in the list. Even though you could go with like the EDP, or you could go with like pretty much any of the other ones. It's up to you, you know, but I just specifically can talk about the Intense here. But yeah, I feel like it's got ginger, it's got juniper berry, it's got bergamot, sage, lavender, geranium, vetiver, and patchouli and cedar. So you're pretty typical like note breakdown. Everyone's familiar with the YSL fragrances by now. I mean, like, it's YSL, so I would assume if you're watching this fragrance video, you would know about YSL fragrances, especially the Y fragrances. So anyway, what I was going to say about this, it's got really good performance. Absolutely, everyone kind of likes it. I want to say everyone likes it, but I know there's probably a few people out there that think it's a little bit sharp. So if you have the issue of it being sharp, then you may want like the Le Parfum or the Elixir, or maybe even the Eau Fraiche or something, because they're a little bit like softer or fresher and a little bit easier on the nose. Okay, so YSL White EDP, I actually didn't even like the EDP that much at first, and now it's like one of my favorites, and it gets me like so many compliments. And that's the reason I just started wearing it, was because it was like just the amount of like people that like smelling it on you, and the sillage and the performance is just worth it, you know. So it definitely grows on you if you don't like it at first. You'll will start to like it eventually. So the next is by Dolce & Gabbana. This is K-EDT, and I know a lot of people hate on this fragrance. You see it all the time. The revision was bad. This was the low score, but K-EDT, I'm telling you right now, there's something about this which is just, it's got this sexiness to it. For a fresh fragrance, it's got this masculine vibe and a sexy smell, and that is the juniper. That's what juniper does in the fragrance. Makes it aromatic, makes it sexy. Obviously, there's other things that go into it as well, but for this video, talking about freshies, well, not just freshies, but juniper fragrances that I feel like are really good. So what are the notes? It's got juniper, citrus, blood orange, Sicilian lemon, pimento, lavender, clary sage, geranium, vetiver, cedar. So the notes are quite similar to the Y breakdown, but you also get like that pimento in there as well, which gives it like this deep warmth. So it has like a warm smell to it, despite being fresh. So it is still very fresh, but the warmth is more like I want to say not quite like, it is a pepper. Pimento is a pepper, but it's not going to burn your nose or anything when you smell it. It's just like a very warm smell. Kind of like, like if you ever sipped alcohol, it's warm in your throat when you drink some straight alcohol. It's got that warming effect. This is something that's just got a very warming effect when you smell it. But it's not a like warm, it's not the cold water fragrance, and it's not sweet. It's just like, I don't know how you can explain it besides just saying, just go out and test this stuff for yourself and give it a try. Performance is a little bit lackluster, but does that really matter? Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally clicked stop recording, but we're back again. I was talking about K-EDT and the performance. So the performance is a little bit lackluster, like I was saying, but the smell is really good. So I do think you should try K-EDT by Dolce & Gabbana. Juniper, citrus, pimento, lavender, clary sage, geranium, vetiver, and cedar. This one also will get you compliments as well, but for some reason people just like to hate on it. I don't know if it's like the Nickelback of fragrances or something, but I don't know why it gets so much hate. I think it smells great. So next is by Penhaligon's. It's called Juniper Sling, this fragrance, and it's got juniper berry, it's got orange, angelica, it's got cinnamon, pepper, cardamom, leather, orris, vetiver, sugar, cherry. Don't be put off by the orris, leather, or sugar, or cherry. It's by no means a sweet fragrance, and it's no means an iris or leathery fragrance either. And I don't even smell cherry, honestly. I think Penhaligon's Juniper Sling is a pretty good example of a gin and tonic smelling fragrance, even though the note breakdown may not lead you to think it's like a gin and tonic style. But it's definitely got that citrus and juniper in there, and I feel like maybe a little bit of that cardamom comes through as well. So yeah, vetiver, cardamom, juniper, orange. I feel like they're the main notes here, but it definitely smells like gin and tonic style. Performance of this as well, it's not very good, but I think it's one of those freshies that everyone's going to like the smell of, because the more simple you keep a fresh fragrance, the more likable it is. So it's very simple. You get the issue of people saying, it's too basic or whatever, but I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean it smells bad if someone says it's basic. So yes, you could call it basic, as with a lot of the ones in this list, but they all smell pretty good. So Penhaligon's Juniper Sling, okay guys? And girls, if you're watching too, you may be interested in buying a fragrance for your partner or just smelling it for yourself. So next is by Mason Francis. I can't pronounce his last name, so let's just call it Kirkagen or something. MFK, let's just call it MFK, Gentle Fluidity Silver. Yeah, I apologize for my intrusive thoughts as well. There's a problem that I have with Gentle Fluidity Silver. I really like the smell of it, but it kind of gives me a headache, and sometimes if I smell too much of it, I get this pain in my lung. I don't know what it is. I could possibly be very allergic to it, but I don't know. But I like the smell of it, and it's very clean. You get this juniper berry, this nutmeg, bergamot, pineapple, coriander, musk, woody notes, cedar, amber, vanilla. So this is as close as you can get to like this very ambery glass-like texture in a fragrance. I don't know why I always use the word glass-like, but it's got this very like ambery, not in a sweet way. It's like clear glass. If that had a smell, it's a bit weird, but it's kind of like certain smells give you certain textures and looks with certain things, right? So this is something it definitely does to me. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I definitely get this effervescent, clean, glassy like smell texture from it. Yeah, but with that said, it's probably because it's very metallic and synthetic and molecule like. It's definitely not a natural smelling fragrance. This is more of a something that's more like laundry sheets or like a fresh linen or something. Even like I got these satin gloves on. You could kind of say it's a little bit satin like with the texture of the smell in here. So it's got like that little bit of a synthetic kind of vibe going on. It's sparkling. It's a very sparkling, shiny, metallic kind of accord or feel it's got to it. So maybe even a little ozonic as well, if that helps you describe the fragrance. But yeah, it smells good. Just I think it can sometimes give me a headache or like a pain in my chest if I smell too much of it. Oh yeah, but I cannot smell the pineapple in here or like the vanilla or whatever. So I don't know what's up with that note breakdown. But it's definitely not fruity and it's definitely not sweet. It's as far as you can go away from being like sweet or fruity. It's just clean. It almost smells like nothing. You get pretty much juniper and wood with like this clean nothingness. Like if clean just had a smell and there was nothing else besides that, like that's what I would imagine it would be like gentle fluidity silver. So, uh, next is a Tiffany fragrance. This is called End Love, like the end symbol. Love for him. This is inspired by Bleu de Chanel, and it does smell very similar to Bleu de Chanel. But this one is more juniper forward than Bleu de Chanel, without like the incense and all that kind of stuff. This has got mandarin, ginger, cardamom, cypress, juniper, vetiver, sequoia wood, and sandalwood. So as you would expect, cypress, juniper, vetiver, sequoia, sandalwood, very woody, right? And the ginger orange kind of smell, I think that gives it a little bit of that Bleu de Chanel smell in there. But honestly, I don't know why it smells like Bleu de Chanel with these notes. I feel like it must be like the same sourcing of the ingredients. Like, so maybe they've sourced the same citrus that Chanel have used, or they've sourced the same ingredients from somewhere else. That could be a thing. I don't know, but it definitely, to me, smells like Bleu Chanel, and that's why I like it a lot. So you probably like this as well if you like Bleu Chanel. Now, the next is by Alberto Marias. This is his brand called Misenser, and this fragrance is called Blue Gin. So, like the name would suggest, Blue Gin. It does smell very gin-like, but there is no gin note officially listed. But there is juniper berries, which obviously that's what gin is made from. And it's got cascalone, it's got mandarin, cardamom, juniper berries, Sichuan pepper, tonka, cetalokes, and iris. So of course with cetalokes and cascalone in it, it is going to be quite synthetic and molecule-like as well because they're synthetic molecules or ingredients, and it actually does kind of have this alcohol smell to it. It smells a lot like alcohol. So if you imagine what gin smells like, this is pretty much it, like blue gin. just like taking a shot of gin or something. That's what you get, you know. Like so if you like the smell of gin, this is like not really a gin and tonic fragrance. Actually, this is just straight up gin, in my opinion. But a little less alcoholic and a little bit more wearable for someone that's into perfume. It is still a perfume, and it's got a little less alcohol to it than actual alcohol that you're going to be drinking, right? So you're going to either like or hate this one. This one's not as mass appealing as the others in the list, but worth a try. I don't really hear anyone talk about Blue Gin by Mizenso, and maybe it's because they just don't like it, or maybe they just haven't heard of it. But I want you guys to at least know about this fragrance anyway. I'm not going to tell you to go blind buy it or anything, because I don't think it's a blind buy worthy fragrance, as some of these fragrances in the list aren't really blind buy worthy, and I'm not really like a believer in blind buying anyway, because I just feel like that's a dumb idea to do, just blind buy something without testing it or smelling it. I've done that like 2 or 3 times, and most of the time it was a bad idea. So next is Polo 67 by Ralph Lauren. This one is actually quite fruity compared to the others in the list, and it's in the same vein as like your Dylan Blue and like your popular blue fragrances at the moment that are out, right? So this is very like pineapple, citrus, sage, juniper, rosehip, vetiver, patchouli, goldenrod, and I like this fragrance because yes, it is blue, but it smells manly. Like this has a very manly smell to it without being like mature, like overly mature though. It's not like an old man. It's like a very masculine scent. Like, but the pineapple in there brings it down a little bit. Like it's not Aventus by any means, but it's not. It's ain't your Dylan Blue that's got a lot of musk in there either. This is kind of like, I feel like they've made it so people in their 20s and 30s could really get into it. But it's definitely not even close if you want to like talk about like unisex fragrances. It's masculine to the bone. This is just masculine fragrance, right? So you must smell like a man. Even though I don't really believe in gender roles, I think men can wear whatever they want. Men could wear like rose fragrances. Men could wear lychee, Parfums de Molly Delina. Ironically, some feminine fragrances work better on men. You wouldn't think so, but I feel like if you're a very masculine guy, you could pull off a very feminine scent if you're a very masculine man, because it's like it just balances all that out, right? So for me, if I'm like a less masculine man and then I wear Parfums de Molly Delina, you could still do that. You could embrace the feminine. Like I have no problems with men wanting to embrace their feminine. So I think that is totally cool, you know. So you do that as well if you're into that kind of thing. So anyway, I got a little bit off topic there, went off on a tangent. But next fragrance here is by Chanel. This is called Edinburgh. This is got cypress, juniper, lavender. It's got cedar, vetiver, musk, and vanilla in it. I love this fragrance. This is like one of my favorites at the moment. I'm so addicted to the smell of this stuff. Edinburgh by Chanel. I feel like the quality is as high as you can get for a citrus fragrance, but the juniper just absolutely just like gets me so weak when I smell this. It's like that's what really got me coming back to this fragrance every time and smelling it was the juniper. Like I would sniff it and I'd be like citrus. I'm like it's just basic citrus, and then I'd be like, oh juniper. I'd be like. And then it's kind of grabs you, like you smell it, and then it just keeps, it draws you in, and it's like, okay, I really, really am getting hooked on this scent now. So it's not like, it's not really a first sniff, but it's like, what's that? And then by the time you've like got 3 whiffs of it, that's all you need. Three whiffs, and you should be hooked on this stuff. So it is pretty much like a citrus fragrance where the wood's done just to perfection in here. So Chanel have absolutely nailed the quality of this. Is it Chanel's best fragrance? No. Chanel actually have so many good fragrances. but they also have a lot of bad fragrances too. So I'll put this in the top 5 of Chanel's fragrances, at least for me. Um, but yeah, if you're talking about just straight up like citrus scents or woody scents, then this would be like right up there with some of the best for sure, at least in terms of quality. So next is by Lubin. It's called Gin Fizz. So this is one of those gin and tonic style fragrances. It's got bergamot, juniper, lemon, mandarin, African orange blossom, jasmine, galbanum. It's got iris, rose, vetiver musk, lily, oak moss, and benzoin. This fragrance reminds me a little bit of like your gin and tonics by like McAuliffe. It's got a little bit of that mint and tonic DNA, like by Atkinson's. So very much in the same vein as those gin and tonic, mint and tonic, mojito kind of drink and perfumes, like that kind of vibe going on. So yeah, I really, really rate this fragrance a lot, but the performance is very lackluster. But I do think Lubin Gin Fizz was marketed towards women. I think it was. Can't remember. But it wasn't on my radar at all when I smelled it. I didn't even know about that house. And someone that worked at Libertine just pointed it out to me. Said, "Try this," and I tried it, and I was like, "Thank you. Like this is the stuff right here that I was looking for." So sometimes it's like when the person that works there can really put you into something good. I mean, I love that when you always want to look for something new that's good, and a lot of the time you've already tried everything, and it's like, nothing's really on your radar, and you're going around sniffing fragrances, and half of them smell bad, and then you come across that one fragrance that's like, yes, I found it. That's what this was for me. At least at the time when I was at Libertine, Gin Fizz by Lubin. This is safe for girls to wear and safe for guys. This one I actually do recommend for girls a lot because it's got that iris and rose and jasmine. So this is a little bit more feminine out of the rest on this list. So a lot of the ones on this list I would not consider unisex, but Lubin Gin Fizz is a unisex fragrance. So, look. So, yeah. If you are a girl watching this video, then this is probably the only fragrance in the video that I would recommend for a girl. Lubin Gin Fizz. So, yeah, definitely check this one out. Oh, and guys, you can wear it too, because I definitely got to get myself a bottle of this stuff. Okay. Roja Elysium. I don't really know if this needs a description or an introduction because everyone knows about Roja Elysium. At least if you're into fragrances, you should know about it. If you're into designer fragrances only, then maybe you don't know about the niche brands like Roja, but this has got a ton of notes thrown into it. I mean, they've just put too many notes in there to name them all, so I'll just go through a few that are the main smells of this. There's a bunch of citruses in there. It's got thyme, it's got artemisia, it's got vetiver, juniper, black currants, leather, apple, cypriol, rose, jasmine, and a whole bunch of other notes. Now, what is good about this fragrance? I think the juniper, the black currant, and the leather and the cypriol are the stars of this fragrance. It's where it shines the most. I don't like the intense because it just made it way too citrusy and they got rid of a lot of the stuff that made it good. There's a lot of ingredients in here that actually smell sour. Grapefruit, thyme, blackcurrant, they do smell very sour if they turn up a lot. But I wanted this fragrance to be darker. That's the only thing I wish this fragrance was, a lot darker. So I would like to see like an elixir or something of this. Like an elixir, turn up that juniper a lot, amplify the black currant, but give it like a dark cypriol kind of smell as well. Like really turn up those darker green elements in here, and maybe the leather is fine. You don't need more leather because I don't want it to be an animalic fragrance. I want the leather to stay how it is, but just kind of like bring out some more of that darkness, that that sexy smell like you would expect in an elixir fragrance. Like maybe even some lavender or something in there too would be sick. Um, but yeah, you could do that, right? Rosette Elysium. I really like this fragrance. Mass appealing. This is one that's been on everyone's kind of, what's the word? Everyone's radar for a long time. Everyone knows about it. Everyone's probably smelt it or had a bottle, and I'm sure everyone probably still wears this too. When I say everyone, I mean the people that are into like niche fragrances and stuff. Mostly men, by the way. So the next is gonna be Burberry Hero EDT. Why the EDT? Because as of lately, I'm into more fresh fragrances and I want to smell clean. And I'm steering away from the sweeter stuff these days and just kind of going for like something fresh and cleaner that's a little bit more different. So I still love my Aquatics, I still love my Gourmands and stuff, but for me, I just want something more fresh these days. Um, this is obviously still on the more woody side. It's even got like this sweetness to it, but this fragrance also gets a lot of hate. A lot of people like the EDT more. I mean the EDP, because the EDP has cinnamon and it's got like more of these spices and stuff in it. But the EDP is really sweet. So I prefer the EDT just because it's just citrus, juniper. It's got three types of cedar wood: Atlas cedar, Virginian cedar, and Himalayan cedar. One thing with this fragrance, it's quite musky. So Burberry Hero EDT and all the other Burberry Heroes, it is quite musky. If you smell it in the air, this has a sillage, like you can smell it so far away. And I'm not talking about like the longevity of the fragrance. It doesn't last that long. But it's like when it's actually on you and when it does like last, like so the first few hours of spraying it, the scent cloud around you is actually pretty big. Like this stuff does project and sillage and stays in the air for a long time. I think that's just a property of wood. Like if you're around freshly cut wood or anything, I think that smell just sticks around in the air for a long time. But yeah, this Burberry Hero EDT, like this is still a fresh fragrance. A lot of people are going to say it's boring and generic, but I still disagree with that. Like, I don't think I can name any fragrance that smells anything like Burberry Hero, any of the Burberry Heroes for that matter. Actually, like the closest I think was like Byredo Gypsy Water, and that's still completely different. Like that's like, yes, it's got like that. I think it's like cypress, and it's also got like maybe juniper or like cedar or something. And it's some type of wood in Gypsy Water that gives it the same type of smell, and citrus as well. But Gypsy Water is like more watery, more fresh, more like effervescent. It's got like this vanilla in there too. So there are similarities, but they're by no means like the same kind of smell, right? So I hold Burberry Hero in its own kind of like its own category. So yes, it is like a freshie. It is one of the more mass appealing ones that you could compare to everything else. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think it's just a great fragrance, and that's gonna be my list finished. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. And you're probably wondering, why am I wearing like this outfit today? I got the gloves on, the silver shoes. I got like my green coat. I don't know, man. I was just wearing clothes today, and I was like, I'll wear something different. But I do have this pimple on my head, so I apologize for that. I'm very insecure about that right now. I keep putting my glasses up, hoping it's going to cover it, but it ain't covering it. So, I mean, I just got to embrace it, you know. Unfortunately, my skin gets breakouts sometimes. I ain't perfect. It's normal. Yeah, if you get breakouts too, then just own it and just have confidence. And I feel like this outfit, that was the intention of this outfit, just kind of give me some confidence, you know. So have a good day, everyone. And I went off on a tangent in this video. I apologize for that. I apologize for the video cutting out or accidentally stopped recording halfway through or whatever. But yeah, if you like this video, let me know. If you don't, also let me know, because I like constructive criticism of all kinds, good and bad, and let me know what you think about these fragrances too. Do you like Juniper fragrances? Do you hate them? Do you have any gin and tonic style fragrances or Juniper fragrance that you recommend to me to try? Because I would love to try some more. I love gin and tonic. Even like a mojito style fragrance too. Like if you got something that's mint instead of juniper, I'm open to it. Like a mint and tonic kind of smell, mint and lime, that's good. Juniper and lime, gin and lime. You know, so yeah guys, thank you a lot for watching and have a good day.